Time to discuss the newcomer of the season. It's a Premier League conversation, but if you have any other players in Europe, then drop them in the comments. Let's start with I would say, the clear and obvious. Maybe I'm biased. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But Arne Slot, he's won the league in his first season. I don't see how you could argue that.
I mean, he came in, he spent no money. He came in after...
Right, we bought Federico Chiesa. How are we forgetting that?
Who's played about 40 minutes of football. But it don't matter, he's come in and taken over Jurgen Klopp's team, and I've said it all season, coming in after a manager of that stature is basically like coming in after Sir Alex Ferguson at Man United. Everyone thought it was a bit of an untenable job, and he's won the league in his first season, making basically no transfers, playing his style of football, which is completely different from the last managers, with exactly the same players. He's done an unbelievable job, and I think it's gone under the radar a little bit because, let's be honest, the quality of the Premier League this year has been lower. The quality of the games has been lower, but that doesn't take away from what an unbelievable job he's done, and in his first season as well.
I think you have to factor in that at the start of the season, Liverpool didn't have a 6. He converted Gravenberch into a 6, who when that happened at that time, I think I even said on Football Forecast that I don't think that is a good decision. I thought we were going to struggle. Trent's played as essentially a traditional right-back this season. He's got more out of Mo Salah. Mo Salah recently said on an interview that Slot has allowed him to change his game so that he scores more goals and provides more assists and is basically now a pure out-and-out final third player. And then on top of that, like you said, we've had Liverpool made no transfers. He's kept Konate fit, and I think this is one thing I would say. A lot of people have spoken about injuries a lot. We've spoken about injuries a lot. I don't think it's coincidence that Liverpool haven't had many injuries. We just play a much more pragmatic style, and so therefore, after 60 minutes of a game's 2-0, Liverpool will just sleepwalk their way over the line. So, any qualms?
Yeah, a little qualm. In isolation, just the season alone, which is how you vote for these awards. Best newcomer, Arne Slot, I think. I agree with you guys. I just want to see what it's like next season because we can't deny that this is Jurgen Klopp's team. He's done a fantastic job, and it's very difficult to follow in the footsteps of legends. Many men have tried it, and many men have failed. But is this going to be a Pellegrini? Or is this going to be something a little bit different? Is this going to be a dynasty that he builds? Because Pellegrini was a very good manager, right? But that was Mancini's squad, and he won the Premier League in 2014. But then he was sacked by the end of the following season. And so let's see what Slot does next year. Salah's a year older. Van Dijk's a year older. Trent's not going to be there. He's going to actually bring in some of his own players. And that's the real litmus test. But for this season alone, yeah, I'll give it to Arne Slot. He's done an incredible job.
Any other contenders? As a man at Man City who's got a corker against Bournemouth, I'm sure you want to put in there.
Yeah, so I think 7 goals for Marmoush so far is a really good return. I think half of them have been outside the box. 3 or 4 of them have been outside the box. They've all been bangers as well. And I think he was exactly what we needed at the time when we needed it. I think City have come under a fair amount of criticism despite winning everything from fans of other teams sort of saying that their style of football is a little bit boring. People have talked about Haaland's inability on the ball, which is a fair enough argument. But then I think to bring in a player like him who has also scored 21 goals in the Bundesliga this season, and he's just ripped the place apart. And I think next season you're going to see an unbelievable side to Omar Marmoush.
Was his first game against Chelsea?
I don't know if it was his first game, but it was
one of his early games, right, where he was making runs beyond. And I remember that was the game where I think we came into Football Forecast after and said, like, there's going to be a new City. And I think he'll be like the guy who sort of is like the DNA of that team. Also, Miles Lewis Skelly.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think that coming into this team...
Kim's ready, by the way. He's ready.
I know. And Lewis Skelly's he's such an interesting one, right? Because there's some players that just come into football and for some reason they're always a talking point. And Miles Lewis Skelly, whether he's good, whether he's bad, whether he's overhyped, whether he's underrated, people are always talking about him. I've been very impressed, man. And I know there's some Arsenal fans saying, yeah, but wait till you see him playing centre mid. No. You've got your left back for the next 10, 15 years. Don't mess that up. Trent apparently plays centre mid during come through the academy. He's a right back. So I think Miles Lewis Skelly coming into this Arsenal team that have been expected to deliver, they haven't delivered, but based on the majority of his performances as a teenager coming into a team that's in win now mode, I can't criticise the kid. I think he's done very, very well, and he'll be a fixture in this Arsenal starting 11 for years to come. And bear in mind that the hype was always about Ethan Nwaneri, right? Ethan Nwaneri's this, Ethan Nwaneri's that. Ethan Nwaneri don't get into the team anymore. Miles Lewis Skelly does, over Calafiori, who they bought for a lot of money in the summer.
You said, I can't say a bad word about him. I know a guy who definitely can.
I'm not going to say a bad word about him. I think he has been great, and I think for a teenager to perform like that, particularly in the Champions League, is admirable. I'm just always wary when it's a young English player that comes through, because I feel like in this country we're so starved of young English talent that as soon as someone comes through, he's instantly the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, the fact that Jamie Carragher's got him in his team of the year, a left back, he's just not, right? But we're just saying that because we like to hype these players, and I just think we've got to be a little bit careful because there are obvious downsides to his game. He's got quite a bad temperament. He can be a little bit of a liability. There's no point in denying that. And I think we just need to be a little bit careful on how we hype these players. But he has been very, very good, and I think if he was playing for my team, I would love him.
Cool. You're saying is proceed with caution. I don't mind that. Dean Huyson, not going to be here for... You're not going to be here next season, but he's had a very good season.
Here today, gone tomorrow. He said we saw it after like the first 3 games. Like, this kid's too good to be playing for Bournemouth. No disrespect to Bournemouth.
How did Juve let that slip though?
Yeah,
from the first game in the Premier League, I watched him and I thought he's levels above. Not even, and Bournemouth are a good side. He's just levels above, basically, which is why he's catapulting from 7th, 8th in the Prem to the most glamorous football club in the world. It doesn't happen.
Bear in mind that everybody in the Premier League won him. Liverpool won him, Arsenal won him, Man United won him. But like all these teams won him, and where's he going? He's going to Real Madrid because he's that good. As a teenager, we've seen it, right? He's going to go and be the long-term replacement for Rudiger, whoever they're going to replace him with. But Dean Huyson's a special footballer, and he'll be one of the best centre-backs in world football for years to come.
We're going to be doing more transfer dialogue and conversations next week, but I think we have to talk about Bournemouth's business there because they've pinched him off Juve and then sold him for what is rumoured to be 50 million quid. Michael B. Jordan on that board is going to be buzzing. That's more money for sinners too. Nicola Milinkovic is on the list. I mean, he's an old-timer, but he's not an old-timer, that's disrespectful to be fair. But he's been around for a while. He's at Forest, he's had a very, very good season, and Forest have had a very good season, so I think it's quite right that there is a player in there from that team.
Yeah, he's been the heart of everything they've done, and they have been quite defensive, haven't they? That's how they've won a lot of games. He's come up with a few goals as well. He's found a fantastic centre-back partnership. And I just think with players like that, they never really get the credit that they deserve because he's not glamorous. He's not even that great on the ball. He's not an amazing ball-playing centre-half. He's just a good old-fashioned centre-half, as you say, who's catapulted this team. He's catapulted this Nottingham Forest team to potentially Europe, which no one could have even considered. And I think if he was a bit younger, if he was a bit more glamorous, I think someone would buy him.
I've just realised on our list we've got one attacker, one manager, and everyone else is a defender. So the last name on here is Maxence Lacroix, who's had an outstanding season. Yeah,
Palace signed him from Wolfsburg. I think it was a bit premature, but in the pre-season or in the summer, people comparing him to William Saliba. Different type of player to Saliba, but very commanding. And also embodies Palace, right? He's the cheerleader, getting the fans up. Formed an incredible partnership with Mark Guehi and whoever else plays in the other centre-back position. Earlier this season was Chalobah, now it's Richards. And he's really the heartbeat of that defence, despite the fact that Guehi gets all the plaudits. I really like Lacroix, and I feel like now Palace have won something. It's not a case of, who's going to sign him? It's like, who are you going to build or who you can bring in to come around him. So yeah, he's been incredible for Palace this season.
He's their A-side centre-back now, and if you watch enough of the football forecast, you know why I'm saying that. Get in the comments, let us know if there's any other newcomers that we might have missed.